And for me, it's about sometimes implementing new routines and everything's new and exciting. And then all of a sudden, those routines have become normal and that starts feeling boring and like I'm no longer accomplishing things and I get restless. And this is where I personally, not sure about you, but this is where I personally start to shake things up, right? Start to make a change. And started feeling kind of an uneasiness for me. And again, maybe it's just me. I like a lot of change. When things are too routine, too all the same, I start getting a little nervous. Some people truly appreciate that routine. But whoever you are, at some point, you might start feeling like you're not getting somewhere fast enough, or that it's really hard, or that you're experiencing a setback. And so you start thinking, maybe it's time for a change, right? So I started thinking about this show. I started the show because I have a message to spread and I wanted to help anyone that wants to be happier in their lives be what I'm going to call a happiness ambassador. I just want to spread the message that choosing happiness for yourself and designing a happy life, choosing happiness when in situations is, well, living joy is giving joy, right? When you are happy, you're inspiring happiness all around you without doing anything but living your life. I'm getting right of my routine. I'm telling you. So I went in search of, for instance, today, the reason I started this conversation with myself was this show. I started at 7 o'clock in the morning, right? It was really, really good for me. 7 a.m. I love getting up early. I wanted the coffee theme, so I got the coffee show early in the morning. But you know what? I've been doing it for months now, and my listeners are kind of few and far between. And I did a little research last week and went on to find that I've picked pretty much the most unpopular time to do a live show or to drop your podcast. That I have basically picked the time that is out of sync with most of the folks that may want to listen or may enjoy listening. So so I decided to shake it up. And that's why I'm doing the show today at this different time, because I don't want to give it up, but I do want it to be successful. So I'm stuck between this place. So I'll tell you the truth. I went out today between yesterday and today to research this. And I just literally typed the question in: when is it time to change course versus when is it time to shake things up versus stay the course? And the response was overwhelming. Stay the course. Life is hard. That when things get uncomfortable, when things get difficult, this is not a sign from the universe that you are not on the right track, right? That's our mistake. Sometimes we think, oh my gosh, this is so hard. I need to do something else. Or if you're a little in the ADD club, like I am, you suffer from the shiny object syndrome. This is fun. I like this, but what's that? What's that new thing I need to go do? I've started so many things in my life, and I did a lot of soul searching and praying and asking friends before I started this show. And then when I started it, I committed that this was what I was going to stick with and stay behind. Because honestly, let's be real. I'm only really good at one thing. That's, putting a few words together and making some sense out of it. That is my gift. I accept it. I as my mom says, don't break your arm patting yourself on the back, but it is what I do well. Why not do what I love to do? And my goal, my hope is to reach as many people as possible, to help offer practical tips, tricks, and ideas on being happier in your everyday life. That's what I try to talk about every day. So I'm stuck between this make a change versus stay the course idea, right? So I thought, well, let's go back to why am I doing this, right? Why? Like I said, I love the 7 a.m. time slot. It's so delightful for me. But then here I am talking to myself every morning, sharing a message that I know there's somebody out there that needs it and wants to hear it, but is not hearing it because it's at 7 a.m. So, like I said, I'm kind of stuck. And The showtime's good for me, but not for the followers. And then I realized that my mission statement, since I was a little girl, I've had this mission in life that I want everyone that meets me to walk away feeling a little happier than before they did. I don't know, it's been kind of a guiding principle. 7 a.m. is good. I always watch later. Oh, see, well, this is what I'm trying to figure out. So the decision or the thought process I came to is I'm advocating pursuing happiness. One of the big ways that we research has it, science shows it, a lot of studies behind it shows that one of the ways we reach happiness is through service to others. And that's why I'm doing this, right? To be of service to others. So then I start thinking about, do I need to change the time because will I be more effective, more reachable, more accessible at a new time? So this is, like I said, the dilemma of the big picture, which I kind of look at it this way. I'm not abandoning this. I'm making slight adjustments to be of better service. So I'm experimenting with times, but I liked this. Well, first of all, I'm going to go back to the idea that growth is not a straight line, that change and growth, developing new habits, making things happen, overcoming problems, developing successes is never this. This is not what that looks like. It looks more like this, a series of ups and down lines with an overall trend rising upwards. But that you can't deny that in this are some, it's backwards like it's hard. Yeah, it's the other way. Inward are some downward. Oh my God, that's almost impossible to draw backwards. Anyway, in that trajectory, in that upward trend, there are some downtimes. There are some times when it feels like we're not getting there, like we're not accomplishing, like we're backsliding, like we're like we're getting told no when we want to hear yes. And these are all the reasons we change course, right? Because it gets hard. Because sometimes the secret is in believing in the outcome, even when you can't see it. Dr. Wayne Dyer, one of my true heroes, wrote a book called You Will See It When You Believe It. It's kind of a play on the normal you'll believe it when you see it idea, that you can't see it till you believe it. Nothing comes to fruition. Nothing happens until we create it first in our minds, and then we put time and action, right? Just thinking thoughts, just great ideas, but then time and action, a plan, hard work, showing up every day, committed to an ideal, committed to a vision, committed to a long-term plan, and we keep plugging away. And I want to be clear, that plan doesn't have to be you're going to win the Olympics. That big plan doesn't mean you're going to start a company and support 1,000 people. Maybe that plan is you are just going to be a happy person contributing in a positive way to the world around you. That's enough, right? That's enough for the plan to be. And some days we feel like we're on the path, and some days not so much. And in that jagged line of growth, those downward trends, those are the days when we're feeling the disappointments or the rejections or it's just not happening fast enough. I thought I'd have thousands of followers by now, or whatever it is that you're trying to create, right? I'm kind of coming to the conclusion for me that, well, again, what's the answer to, is it time to stay the course or shake things up? And it can be challenging to know when to do what. So I went out and looked, and there was this idea was to ask yourself, check this, just ask this question. If I was guaranteed success, if I was guaranteed to be brilliant at this and to be well received, and I could do it in a way that truly fulfills me, would I still want this? Well, if the answer is yes, and if you know me, you know it's an overwhelming yes for me. If that's your answer, if it's a vision you're committed to, and it's still what is the path you've chosen for yourself. so much goodness in sticking the course, in rising to the occasion, in overcoming the short-term I don't wannas. And a few months back, I can't find the list, but I'm desperate to look for it. A few months back, I did a show on sticking to it, just perseverance, right? In fact, maybe that was the name of the show. And in that show listed all kinds of people who had gone through unlimited, unbelievable amounts of failures before reaching their success. Authors who are considered classics, who are in every library, in every school across the world. Authors like, I'm trying to remember the list. People that were rejected 200 times. J.K. Rowling rejected 700 times. People who were told no, but yet saw the vision, saw the outcome, stayed the course, kept coming back, said, showing up is 80% of success. And so here I am every day to do my best, inch away at this elephant one bite at a time. And so, yes, there are days it's challenging to know, is this downward portion of my trend just part of the process that I can just live through and know that it's going to rise again? Or is it a signal to me telling me to knock it off, to give it up, to move to something else and do something different because it's starting to get hard? And again, the messages that I got loud and clear were something being difficult and hard is not a sign from the universe that it is not right, or that it's not for you, or that it's not worthwhile in pursuing. In my life, it seems, or I don't think it's just me, I think this is a universal truth, that we don't grow much in happiness, right? And the days and the times that everything is just fantastic and we're celebrating life, yay, go big us. But you know what? We're not, that's not the times we're experiencing large growth. It's the times when we have disappointment and we pull out the strength and the guts to keep going. It's the time when we get the setback and we don't let that allow us to quit. It's the times when it is horrible and hard, and yet we continue to get up and show up and do what we've said we're going to do, and keeping the big picture of what we want to accomplish firmly in our mind, knowing that every single step we take is moving us a little bit closer, a little bit closer, a little bit closer. So I love the question, would I love to do this if I knew I could be successful, if I'm guaranteed for it to work and I'll be well received and it'll fulfill my heart's dreams? Would I keep doing this? Oh, yes. Of course you would. If it doesn't sound like it's going to make you happy, that's a time to make the change. That's a different discussion, right? Time to make a change because I no longer want what I said I wanted before is different than I'm going to make a change because it's getting hard. Life is difficult. So pick a lane, stick with it until you reach a specific result, no matter how challenging. And this doesn't mean you don't make small adjustments. I'm making adjustments with the time for my show. I'm going to make some adjustments on platforms and on the way that I promote it. But the overall vision hasn't changed. The overall mission hasn't changed. And that's the message I'd like to bring to you. And today it's about, we've had other shows. If you don't have a mission, how do you get one? How do you know what's your purpose? What gives you passion? Yes, for me, it's getting to PT on 3 times a week. You know, Debbie, sometimes in my life, just getting where I need to be on time is such a big accomplishment. And this is a little bit off of and for me, it's the show. And this is a little bit off topic, but this goes to our negative self-talk, right? Because sometimes that is all we can do. Physical therapy, overcoming injury and trauma to your body is not to be taken lightly. It's a full-time job, and you are devoting significant time and energy to it. And so sometimes we start feeling bad, man, all I can do is get to therapy in time. And we let that little negative guy go, you should be doing more. Why are you so tired? Blah, blah, blah. Instead of the little one saying, you did it. You got there. You were on time. You did your therapy. Good job, girl. Right? And that's kind of what I want to focus on is how do we make sure you're having the good job girl talk, even when time is hard. Isn't that part of the secret to happiness is um, compassion in all we do, compassion towards everyone and everything, and that includes towards ourselves. And that's the process for me, right? Oh, I'll use Debbie's example. Getting to PT, she's going through some serious physical therapy. Getting to PT 3 times a week is the goal, right? Organize your life around that. That is enough. That's enough to know you don't say, I'm not going to go today. I just don't feel up to it, right? Because the long term goal is getting back to health, getting your strength back. So you're thinking to yourself, my overall overreaching goal is that what I still want? Is that going to make me happy to be healthy and pain free? Of course it is. So that's what we focus on instead of the I don't want to get up today. They're going to hurt me today. It's going to be hard today. And Debbie, you are the master at that. You are, my friend Debbie is uh, honestly one of my models for the Queen of Happiness, one of the people I look to um, on how to behave when things are tough. So, Debbie, I love you. That's our show for today. Keep on keeping on. When you think it's time to make a change, go back to the beginning. Go back to the mission and say, what am I trying to do here? And is this still important in my life? Only you can answer that. And then once you do, then you have the answer to stay the course or shake it up. Most of the time, it's stay the course. Love you too, Debbie. Most of the time, I'm going to say it's stay the course, right? Most of the time, it's keep on keeping on because you had a good thought when you started it. Anyway, that's my show for today. Thanks for listening. I'm not sure what time you're going to see me tomorrow, kind of a schedule right now. I'm popping around, trying out different times. But always watch it on the replay. Thank you so much. Until tomorrow, make it a happy day.